Hey, everybody. Welcome in. We've
Hi,
got
everyone.
one grandma. Sorry, Tammy.
That's okay.
Let's see. Lori's World said first, congratulations, Lori.
Hi,
We've got
Lori.
we've got a few people. We'll give people a few minutes to come on in. But we'll say it again multiple times throughout the whole stream. Couple things. We're going to keep this to an hour just because we want to keep this short and sweet, get to the point. And we also want you to grab a pen and paper if this is something you're interested in doing. If you have any questions, today's a Q&A session on this goal setting method. So you're able to take part in it, and we want to make sure everybody's successful. Hey, Lori's World. Hey, Nick at Arizona Highland Homestead. Hey, Brooklyn's Honeybees. Hello, Denise Pacell. Hello, our new land. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just
Hi,
going to get
everybody.
everybody. Sorry, Tammy, go right ahead.
Hi, Outdoors with Big Matt. Hey, Nick. And hi, everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Hey, Matt Acre Farms, welcome in. I think we're all multitasking. Hey, G Mama Grows and On the Plant, Tom. How you guys doing? Oh,
Hey.
cool. Thanks, Nick. Lisa and Tammy, I have my mail call video uploading now with mail from both of you. How exciting. Hey, Daniel's Family Homestead, welcome in. So yeah, so like I was saying, we're going to keep this to an hour and we don't want to take up any of your time, but we do want to help you reach your goals. And so today is a Q&A session. Grab a pen and paper or a pencil and paper and come on in. And today is a Q&A session on the 7F goal setting method. So does anyone have any questions, and is anyone wanting to join us and come up and talk about maybe some progress that they've made since last week?
Or questions you have. If you need
Yes.
help making your list or breaking it down into the smaller chunks of goals to accomplish, we could help talk you through that. We talk each other through our stuff.
Absolutely.
I wanted to
Absolutely.
share, I have this pencil that I use, and let's see if you guys can see this. Do you see that right there?
Yeah.
Success is a decision. Isn't that awesome? I didn't even notice it was on there till I was thinking and sitting here, spinning it in my fingers while I'm all over my list. I thought that was fun, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think what I'll do is I will drop the link if anyone wants to come up and talk about their goals or any questions they have. Again, be respectful, please. And
Hi, Susie.
ooh. G Mama said 7F, sorry, I'm lost. Hey, Susie Jacobson. Tammy, do you want to give a quick update?
Yep, I can do that. So the 7 F's, G Mama Grows, it's a goal setting process that you can go through to keep your life balanced. That's what we all need is balance. And they stand for faith, family, finances, fitness, fun, future, and friends. So that's what each of the F's stand for. So at the last session that we had, we talked about how you set these up and what each of these means. And you kind of go through the list. I'm going to give you a real simplified version. Hey, Tina Ladybug. And that is that you go through and you ask yourself, how do I feel about where I'm at in my faith or in my family with, things, whatever you have going on with your finances? How do I feel about that? Is there anything that I really would like to do this year to improve where I'm at in that area? And you go through and you kind of set up your goals, and keep in mind that your goal could be just to keep doing what you're doing if you're all good with one area, but having it present on your list. And I have a little list here of, I don't know if you guys can, if the light is letting you see, but I have it all written down. And you start out by writing your your goal and your purpose, and your immediate step that you're going to take. And then you want to track your progress of that step every month. So that's the seven F's. And we have ours written down. You could grab a pen and paper and jot yours down real quick. And I'll put them in the chat. Oh, look at Lisa, you're awesome. Lisa put them in the chat so you can see them. Faith, family, finances, fitness, friends, fun, future. There's a lot of things that I want to do this year. So I've done this before, and I've done other goal setting methods too. And honestly, this is the one that always worked best for me because it kept me balanced. And that's something I really struggle with. I could straight up go to town on getting something done. I can hyper focus like nobody's business, to tell you the truth. But I could hyper focus to the point where I leave things out and other things fall short. And that's my personality. And this works best for me and helps me maintain balance. And I've done this with other people, and I know they've shared the same outcomes. So,
Hey, Charlene Heal. Yeah, we're doing a special collaboration with Mountain Grandma for 7F goal setting. And I have it on the screen what the 7Fs are. So it might be of interest to you. But then next week we will be on Mountain Grandma's channel, and then we're alternating weeks. Hey, Ariella. But yeah, Brooklyn's honeybees said that their progress so far, and I thought that was that's true.
Awesome.
So does anyone who was with us last week, or does anybody have any questions? Because that's what it is, Q&A session. Hello, Fugate Farms.
Hi there. And hi, Rochelle.
Hi, Rochelle. And hi, Susie Jacobson. And hello, Tina Ladybug. Yeah, no worries, Ariella. Thank you. You should go to sleep, Ariella.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I could not do that.
I couldn't either. Bless your heart.
So does anyone have any questions on this 7F? I'm just curious. Is anybody, if you don't have questions, I'm just curious. Hey, Lisa Clovey, if anybody is, interested in doing this, when did I get the baby grand? It's in the setting. Hey, Backlash Fisherman.
Hey, Backlash. I'm interested to hear, what are everyone's goals? I'm sure that you have goals, whether you're formally following them with something like the 7Fs or not. Maybe you're here to get motivated, just to hear what it's all about. What are your hot potatoes that you're hoping to get taken care of this year? I'm sure everybody has at least one.
Gosh, Jamie, you and I are alike.
Oh, fear of failure. Yeah. Mad Acre Farms. I'm the same. I'm the same way. If I'm not careful, I can put myself on pause. What I try to tell myself all the time is, for me personally, failure is just part of my learning process. Straight up. It it can drive my husband nuts sometimes because he's usually just good at stuff. And me, not so much. I have to tell myself I'm gonna fail. I mean, when I start to learn something, and I feel like when I remind myself of that, it gets me off of pause. I just have to tell myself I'm going to be doing this a couple times when I go to do it. And most of the time it's okay to screw up. Most of the time.
I'm going to look up the link from our first session and put it in the chat.
G Mama Grows, that's one of mine too, is trying to learn more about the plants that I grow, and also trying to grow new plants. I want to grow new plants, and I want to grow some of the herbs that I use. That's a biggie for me. And I've actually been thinking about I'm trying to work on a binder for all of my herbal notes and getting them into a binder. And that's going to be a process. My first step was table of contents. So I did a very loose table of contents. I did get that one done. I need to actually buy myself a binder because, I believe it or not, I don't have a binder in the house. But I would like to learn 1 or 2 new herbs per month more. And maybe it's one I already use and I just don't know it a whole lot, but that's one of mine. We have a lot of resources here on YouTube, that's for sure.
Charlene Heal, I did put the link for the first one. It is on Mountain Grandma's channel, which is Tammy. And so that is up there.
Yes, that's what I was laughing about.
Yeah.
Backlash Fisherman, my husband is right there with you.
Well, and I could not agree more, Fugate Farms. I mean, not just fear of failure, but I'm a firm believer in the mistakes and the failures that we make or the failures we experience.
Mhm.
They have made us who we are, and they make us stronger, and they make us knowledgeable, and it's stuff
Mhm.
that we incorporate. And I always say, if you make a mistake, you're not likely to make it again,
Mhm.
especially the big ones.
Yeah, yeah, especially those big ones. Daniel's family homestead. I think that's a common.
Mhm.
At the bottom of my, so I have my, just to share with you guys how I did mine, and I know my lighting's not going to let you see this. You can kind of see.
Mhm.
I started out writing, my goal, for this month, my goal, purpose, that immediate step. On the back of that paper, I've really been trying to break it down into smaller chunks um, of what I can do even this week. So that's kind of what you want to keep it mindful of. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. I just use a plain little old notebook to write my notes down in, and just trying to knock some of this stuff off the list. And when you start doing that, especially if you connect with somebody, I really want to encourage all of you again to connect with another YouTube channel. They're going to really understand, like, for those of us that have YouTube channels, we're not only trying to get things done, we're trying to document things as we do them. So it's a helpful motivator with that. And somewhere in our goals, probably YouTube is living. And it's helpful to connect with someone else who shares similar challenges, and just to learn from them.
Hey, Greenacre. Hey, the
Keeps
Blue
you
Pixie.
accountable.
Hold
Lisa,
you accountable.
yes, Lisa was sharing with me what she did. I'm like, oh shoot, I got to get busy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I was hoping to show you what I did today, but unfortunately, with Ryan under the weather, I'm not able to be in that room. So,
Arizona
and this,
Highland Homestead, our big
yep.
goal for this year, to move to a property where we can become sheep farmers and have a greenhouse. That is an awesome goal. And you know what I like about that, Nick, is that it's not too, you know, it's not so flexible. It sounds like you guys have made some great decisions with what you're looking for and where you're looking. One of our goals is to get more land. We're on a little over an acre, and we really want to get more land. And we're still trying to talk our kids into moving out of state. And so we don't want to go without them. So we're actually kind of on the fence of, right now we're talking about, should we just get land here? Should we just sell our house and maybe wait for the property values to fall? Maybe live off grid for a little bit? Um, that's some of the things we're thinking about. I think you're ahead of us on that one, Nick, because you've got family that's all in agreement on where they want to live. That's like a big piece of it.
Yeah, and I know that we're a little behind on the chat, so just bear with us because we just want to acknowledge everybody
Yeah.
talking about their goals. And I like what you said, Nick, and I'm looking at Brampton
Mhm.
Gardner also, and the one reoccurring theme that I'm seeing um, is that the goals are very broad
Mhm.
and they're very general. And I think some of the things to think about is, we always talk SMART goals, at least in my line of work, right? So it was
Mhm.
always, specific,
Mhm.
measurable,
Mhm.
achievable, relevant, and timely.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that, like, for example, Brampton Gardner, finish my 30 days of yoga on time
Mhm.
by X number of date. That's a little more specific. Like for the monetized, um, it's get monetized by X day. It's still out of your control. We know that, right? There's some things out of your control, but it gives you something to shoot for, and it gives you a deadline, so to speak. And then that way, if you don't reach your goal by the deadline, you can then reevaluate and set another goal with another deadline.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see. I said hi to Blue Pixie, Green Acre, and then somebody else. Did you have something? I'm sorry, Tammy.
I was going to add to that for Rochelle and just suggest 30 days of yoga on time. You might want to make sure that you track that weekly. Getting monetized, really hone in on that and just really look at how many subscribers away are you, how many hours are you away, and then evaluate what you're doing to get more subscribers and get more hours.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
then
that's, go ahead. I'm sorry.
the profit on the seedling sale. And you probably, you know, these, like, I'm sure you know these things and it's up in your head, but it is helpful if you get it from your head to pen and paper.
Yeah, I think the thing of it is it keeps us more focused. It's all stuff we know, but it keeps us more focused versus and motivated, because it's okay. Well, um, you're more likely to say, oh, I'm trying to think of the words. You're more likely to say, okay, I'm doing my yoga once a day for 30 days. That's, and
Yeah.
you get on it. You know what I mean? Or if you're saying you want to make a profit on your seedling sale this year, it's, you start looking, how can I be profitable?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. You're going to have your threshold, right? And you need to do your research to see what other people are selling for. Where can you sell? What can you do to promote your sales? Maybe so that you can ask a little more than someone else, someone on quality and reputation, maybe.
7F, Rochelle, not 7 up. No worries, Brooklyn's honeybees. I totally understand. Daniel's family homestead said, I'm planning on gardening this spring, but it's so intimidating if you've never grown a garden before. What makes it intimidating? That's what I'd like to know, because is it the fact that you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, I need to build and grow the biggest garden in the world? Because that is intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Just focus on growing something this year,
Mm-hmm.
and understand that some things won't grow or won't do well, or
Mm-hmm.
you'll have an infestation of something. Like, I'm not trying to shoot you down. I'm just, be real and just make a garden that's manageable, because if you bite off more than you can chew, you're going to fail, and then you're not going to want to do it again because you failed. If you do a little bit, you're going to have the rush of being successful and want to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Backlash.
I love that. And we have an outlet to learn more, right? Like, these are YouTube friends. Everybody's doing things at different levels. And Daniel's family, I love the starters. And the first thing I remember when I started growing was starting the seeds. I was horrible at starting seeds, and now I know what works for me where I live. Even, I'll tell you something, I had moved up here where, you guys, our humidity was 10% the other day. When I say it's dry, I mean it's dry. But I
Yeah.
had moved up here from being down in the valley where you do have more humidity, and I lived on irrigated land. And so, water was not an issue. And even what I started my seeds with, and at this point, they're not even in the garden yet, but I used those paper mache cups. Totally can't use those where I live. It is way too dry up here. I have to go with those little pods that you add the water to and then they fluff up.
Yeah.
That's what grows the plants for me well. And I'm great at starting seeds now. And you have a lot of time. If you could just focus on one little thing at a time. So I'm gonna get some of those little pods. That's what I would suggest. I feel like your chances of being successful are higher. And get some of the seeds of something you really want to eat, because that's for you to eat, and then plant those with those little pods. I use a heat growing pad to help with the germination, and poof, they're there. But you've got several weeks before it's time for them to be transplanted. And when I go to the next transplant, for the sake of water, I go to solo cups, those red solo cups. I bump up to that because it uses less water than if I put them in a garden bed. And
Yep.
and then I'm doing that right now. I've got a video I need to get up here soon. It's snowing today, so maybe tomorrow. But I'm take them in and out. I baby the heck out of these darn things. And if you have a greenhouse, I mean, if you don't, you can still do it, but you're going
Hmm.
to have time to plan for your garden even while you're growing seeds. So just something to think about. Just you can have that thought of the distant, what you want to do in the future, and still take those immediate steps now and not let the bigger job hold you up.
I just want to acknowledge a few people came in the chat. Hello, Jesus loving homesteader. Hello, Bunky, Bunky's garden. Inca, finding happiness in all you do. Hello, LG Homestead. No worries, Greenacre. Let's see. I just want to make sure I got everybody. Hello, Garden at Table with Heather Lynn. Hey, Alicia, Country Mama Musings. I'm gonna go back to the chat. I just want to make sure I acknowledge everybody that came in.
No problem. Fugate Farms,
Oh,
shoot for
my.
the moon, and even if you miss, you'll fall amongst the stars. Have you heard that one?
No, I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I had to block somebody.
Our new land, start our food plots, increase my canning production, try to grow potatoes. I want to try to grow potatoes too. I have actually never grown those. And that's on my list of things to do. And as a matter of fact, I need to make a bite-sized chunk because I saw somebody, a couple different people growing potatoes in, one of those cloth, like a cloth 5 pound bucket, like
Yep.
a cloth, the black cloth growing bags. I need to order the growing bags so I can grow the potatoes because I already looked into it. And for me, I was thinking that might be the best one for me to try.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that reminder, Our New Land. I'm going to put that on my list of to-dos this week.
And Fugate, that's not a crazy goal. I mean, the thing of it is you're push, push, push. And if you don't reach your goal, you just figure out something different and look for a new strategy. But if July is what you're looking to hit, get moving, get motivated, start looking at what you need to do to get there, and that's the stuff. Don't just rely on the seat of your pants, so to speak, right? We like to fly by the seat of our pants.
Mhm.
And in the meanwhile, let's see what you can do to get there, because you're going to get there. And Lori LG, we're talking, this is a Q&A session on 7F goal setting. We did the last live on Mountain Grandma's channel, and I have it in the chat. And so we had explained the model earlier in this live as well. Let's see.
Finding happiness in all you do. You all are right there with us. And gosh, it is a crazy feeling to feel like where you are, that God wants you to move on from there. Like it's not your permanent spot. And I just have that feeling and I can't seem to shake it, but I'm trying to prep where I am, but prep for going too. And that makes it very challenging. But bless you guys. I understand the struggle for sure. I hope you keep me posted with how things are going for you. We're right there with you. We did have found there is some cheap land here in Arizona. It's not necessarily what we envision. We really want to go where there's more water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a
And
biggie.
it's a fine line, right? Because, let's face it, there's areas that have more water, more humidity, but there's
Mm-hmm.
different struggle buses there too,
Is, yeah. We don't have tornadoes. and we don't have a whole lot of bugs. I mean, yeah, we get
Mhm.
the tarantulas and there's scorpions, not I haven't seen a scorpion up here, but we see a lot of tarantulas. There's supposed to be some what do they call them? Some rattlesnakes like that live in the woods, and I forget what the name of them is. But we haven't even seen any of those. We've been all over these woods, so we don't have the snakes. We don't have a lot of the bugs. Not even a whole lot of mosquitoes. When it's mosquito season, kind of have it made in those regards. But that's because there's no water.
Mhm. Exactly. There's no humidity.
Yeah,
Um,
no humidity.
Blue Pixies. So I think one of the feedback I might give you is one of my goals this year is to expand my medicine garden, or at least get it
Hmm.
started in pots so it can move with us.
Hmm.
So break it down further. Like, instead of maybe the broad goal is expand your medicine garden, but at least get it started in pots. Just say, I'm going to plant 5 more pots than I normally do, which makes it a little more specific, and you can plant it in pots that it can move with you. So that way, you feel like you've done something, even in the craziness of all the moving.
Hmm. And plan for failure. So plant more seeds than the number of plants you think you'll need. If you end up with an excess, you either keep it or you can sell the extra plant that's ready to go on to another home.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling
So
you,
true.
being in the family, I have found more like-minded people that I feel like they get me. You know what I mean? Here on YouTube, I never expected that. When we started our YouTube channel, we never expected that. And
Yep.
we've made a lot of good friends and found so many people who are really on the same page with where they are and what their goals are and things like that. So you're in the right place.
You absolutely are. I
Outside
mean,
of YouTube, I can't say that I have that same thing. We have some really great friends that live here local near to us that are very dear to us, and that's about it. There's just not a lot of people that really um, are on that same page, like I feel like with YouTube for sure.
yeah. And yeah, Alicia was saying to Fugate Farms, because he said I'm only 950 away. Yeah, we all started there. So,
Yeah.
that that doesn't mean anything. You're gonna get there.
Hmm.
Let's see. Rochelle said I put a sticker on my daily calendar. I just hit 600 subs. Nice.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. Yeah, I agree, Michael. Firm believer in taking thoughts and putting them on paper. Absolutely.
Mhm.
There's something about putting it on paper that helps you commit to it.
Yeah. And then I will take it one further, put it on paper, connect with another YouTube channel, especially the channels that want to grow, because you're going to get a lot of advice and wisdom from people who have already been doing YouTube for a while. They
Yeah.
they may have already tried some things and can share some things that you haven't even thought of, or maybe tried some things that you thought were a good idea, maybe not so much so. So
Yeah.
because especially or even if it's just a friend, I would encourage everyone to go through this with their spouse. We talked about that last time, but someone who's not their spouse is good as well, because your spouse is going to cut you some slack and
Yep.
you're not going to worry about what they think.
Well,
But
I
if
don't know
you're
that Ryan would cut me some slack, but yeah. You want someone objective.
But if it's someone else, you're like, oh man, look at what they did. I need to get moving. Or, oh shoot, I've got to report on how my progress has been, and I better have something to report, or I'm going to feel awful. It
Yeah.
it just really does motivate you.
Yeah, exactly. That's great, Rochelle. And that's the thing. Once you invest in all the tools and stuff, it's so much easier. Because in fact, one of the things that we do when we figure out our homegrown meat per pound is we don't put in the initial investment of the barn and all of that. We
Mhm.
only count the feed for raising those animals and any costs associated with illness or anything like that. Because the reality of it is the barn is an investment in my property. And I'm going to eat that the first time I raise pigs. Right after that, I've got the setup, and it's so yeah, that's really great, Rochelle.
Mhm. Did
And
you see
then,
Alicia, Country Mama Musings?
yep,
My ultimate goal this year goes hand in hand with my newest motto: life is short, waste it wisely. I love that
yep.
motto, Alicia. So, Alicia, I don't know if you recall, but on the last live that we did, I was talking about my husband's list and my list, and he had travel under family, and I had it under fun. Like fun to me can be disposable. That's why this is a good list for me. But seeing it was on family showed how important it was to him as it is to you. And I think that is awesome. Absolutely.
And congrats. Got to start somewhere, garden to table. That's awesome. Congrats. Yeah, I mean, it all starts with a step, right?
Hmm. Yes.
Let me see here. Hello, GB
Taking that step.
Naturals.
Absolutely.
Yep, so true.
Oh, that's so. Nick at Arizona Highland Homestead, he received his knitted hat from Rebecca Davis, and it inspired him to make a unique personal impact in the life of someone using his gifts. Trying to consider
Oh,
which gifts I can use. You probably have several. I would say use them all, Nick. Just have who you're gifting is going to be the person that's going to determine what you use, right? Some people, I believe that some people just need a smile, though. I believe that, like some, when you're out in public and, if it's somewhere where you don't have to wear a mask, I guess, because you can smile with your eyes. My eyes smile. Just that encouraging word. I always, if we're out to eat or something like that, I always try to tell people that I think that they're awesome and I really appreciate things. I mean, people that are service workers, they never, I don't know if anybody's ever read the book. There's a book called, it's about Fred. and it's this book that talks about doing whatever you do. It doesn't matter if you're, cleaning a floor in your house or at work or something. Clean it like you are cleaning it for God in heaven to shine down on himself. And it's true because you never know. People could be feeding somebody their last meal and they have no idea. You could be smiling at somebody who's thinking about, committing
yep,
suicide or something.
yep.
I mean, you never know how kindness is going to impact someone's day. That's awesome, Nick. I ramble
Yeah.
on.
Hey, Color Drop, and hello, Beverly Moffat. I just want to see if we missed anyone else here. Hey, Homestead Aquarius, welcome in.
Hey, Daniel's family. You know what else I use is those. If my husband's got cup of noodles because he likes to have cup of noodles around, empty cup of noodles, wash them suckers, poke some holes in the bottom, and you've got yourself a good pot to plant in. I use those as well.
Hey, Huga. Hey, Life with Linda and Chuck, totally get it. Hey, Lisa Colovi, I think I said hello to you earlier. I'm sorry. My brain is shot today. And thanks, Alicia. Yeah, I'm not in the boot room. I'm actually in my spare bedroom with the baby grand. Did I miss anything in the chat?
I haven't even made it to the bottom. You're doing better than me. Nick, I am going to hit you up about those potatoes. Putting that on my to-do list.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Jesus Loving Homesteader. Yeah, going live. I mean, it feels intimidating but I don't know, for me, the one thing that helped me was like, I mean, I've had to do a lot of public speaking and I used to hate it, but I did it anyway because I had to in the positions that I was in. And what I like about the live is I'm really not sitting in front of somebody. Like I'm not having to stare at people. So
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the person yawning and be like, oh my gosh, I'm losing them. But yeah, you could be losing them anyway, but it's fine. It's definitely
Mhm.
not as scary. But yeah, editing videos is a lot less intimidating.
Mhm.
And Fugate, there's nothing wrong with being obsessed with it, but just remember, you want to make sure that, again, you're taking steps to improve it, right?
Mhm. and balance.
Yeah. And I've got Tube Buddy too, and I'm not as thrilled with Tube Buddy. Oh.
Garden to Table with Heather Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you tell us more about this filming lessons in the spring. Is that something you're going to put on YouTube, or is it something you're getting?
Where is that?
Up.
Congrats to the. You don't know where in the chat?
I don't know where I am. I just keep scrolling down and it still has the blue arrow letting me know I'm not there yet.
Oh, okay. Garden to Table. There it is.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at the bottom now. Awesome.
Does anybody have any questions? Hello, Nora, the Stock Explorer. Hey, LP. I'm okay, LP. I'm doing well. Ryan's kind of under the weather. Thank you for asking, LP. That was very sweet of you. There we go. Totally get that.
The last live that we did was my first live that I did. And I had guidance from Lisa.
Oh.
So I still have questions because when I uploaded or when the whole thing was done, it didn't save the live chat. So I still got to learn, how do I fix that? And
I never sent that to you. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, you could talk me through it even.
Yeah.
But that my advice would be to connect with somebody who's already done lives that you have already established a relationship with, and see if they'll help you out on your first one. And then upload it as a test. Call it a test, because then everybody that's on there knows that you're trying to figure this out. And I've even been on other people's tests where they're people in the chat are helping the person figure out how to do it.
If that's the spare room, no one wants to come visit. The back is not my house, people.
It is beautiful.
Well, thank you. I don't know, it just came on this setting. Does anybody have any questions about their goals? Is anybody trying to buy Rochelle? Is anybody thinking about doing this model? I'm just curious. Give you guys a chance to respond. Check it out. Because, that's the thing. I think we all have these goals, and we often choose lofty goals, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Shoot for the sky. But I think that we just keep them so lofty that then we're disappointed that we didn't reach them. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep. And sometimes we don't reach them because we have not broken them down small enough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, heck, if you don't reach a goal, but you're at least closer to it, that is such a great feeling.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I'll share one of my goals. I don't see any other comments coming up, but one of my goals, I'm just going to bear with me, Tammy. I got to look it up.
Sure. Hey, Nick, I would suggest at the beginning of the live, like we did with this one, let people know you have a hard stop. That's what at my job, I'm on meetings constantly. And that's what we tell each other. I've got a hard stop at this time, meaning if it goes over, we're going to have to schedule another meeting or, something like that. Just let them know at the beginning, and then watch if you use StreamYard, there's that little red clock up in the corner you can kind of keep tabs on, and then tell them as maybe when you're 15 minutes, say, all right, we're going to have to end in about 15 minutes. I mean, unless you enjoy it, hey man, if you enjoy doing a 2-hour live, go for it. But whatever you want to do, just make sure that you are, running that live the way that you're envisioning it.
Yeah. And yes, LP, we are talking about the 7F. And really, it's as simple as just taking the 7 Fs and breaking them down. Mountain Grandma has that live on her channel from last week. And it just helps with breaking it down. And Matt Aker made a comment earlier that I didn't address, and I apologize, but right now they said Jamie said, hang on. Ryan and I sat down and decided to hit the reset button. Our priorities got a little out of place. We did just that. We made smaller milestones, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But earlier, Jamie had asked, like, how do you find balance with YouTube? Well, you walk away from YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality. I know for me, I really got sucked into it. And then I find that I'm not doing anything but that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality of it is I can't do that. I have to do other things. Now it's winter time here, so I have a little more time. But when the summer hits, I'm not going to be as active as I was. And that's because I need to be outside doing what I need to do. Right. And that's the same thing with Ryan and Jamie. And, that's just the reality. Here's the thing. Set yourself a goal that says I'm going to watch every channel I'm subscribed to in their videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that make you sick to your stomach just to say that? You can't. It's not physically possible. Not physically possible.
Not enough hours in the day.
Nope. And even if you did nothing but that, you'd still not have enough time. And the reality of it is people work, they have children, they have other lives, they're caregivers, whatever it is. It's unrealistic. So you have to back off and say, I will do the best that I can if that's what I choose to do, but I can't shift my priorities and have them get out of place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not fair to my family. That's not helping me find balance. That's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you guys brought that up.
Mm-hmm. And he's got friends, Alicia. A lion has to eat an elephant one bite at a time, and they eat that elephant as a pride.
Yep.
Right? So I
Yep.
think that's another point to remember when you're making your goals and all of your I'm glad you said that, Alicia. Because
Yeah.
when you're making your goals, I'm making goals and I'm telling my husband, honey, we gotta do this. Honey, I need you to do this. Because there's some
Yep.
things that my husband's just better at than I am. And if he doesn't bite on the suggestion or seem to be moving at it as fast as I might want him to, all I got to do is go out there and try to do it myself. Boom. I know my husband, he's going to be right there. He will be worried I'm going to hurt myself. That's what he is. And he's going to be right there and it's going to get done. But I mean, however your spouse is, or other people, or is it a service that you should pay for? And maybe your goal needs to be to try to set aside the funds little by little to cover that service. But do remember when you're looking at your goals that you don't have to accomplish them alone. You can incorporate help of family, friends, and a service provider if there's somebody else. You just got to figure out how to get the funds for it. That's going to be your goal. But
Yep. And I just want to acknowledge a few people came in and then Jamie responded and this is important, but
mhm.
LP, yes, that's right. You were there. So thank you. And I hope you do use it. It's really, really simple to
Thank you, LP.
at least try to incorporate. Hey,
Mhm.
Virginia Alexander. Hello, Callie Homesteading.
Do it
Um,
now, LP. Just get a pen and paper and jot them down. Shoot, you could use a napkin.
Bye,
Just
Fugate.
organize your thoughts. That's one thing that I have to that I really like this, and I have to organize my thoughts because my thoughts of what I want to do could be all over the place, and really using something like this to kind of force me to try to fit them in and track them is good for just it's really good for me. A lot of us have goals like the potatoes, like, oh, that's something I need to do this week.
So Jamie, I'm glad that you said it. So and my question for you, and you may not be able to respond. I know you're multitasking, but how realistic is that? And and you may not want to answer this, and that's fine, but think about it. How did it impact your livelihood and your relationships when you did that? That's not finding balance, and that's not healthy, and that's no longer fun, is
Mhm.
the reality.
Yep.
So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Um, and then Alicia was talking about vision boards, which, yeah, I'm a firm believer in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, a vision board is really great, I think, for the broader stuff of the things you want to accomplish. And then with the 7 Fs, being able to, break it down into the specific steps you're going to take to get to that vision is really
Mhm.
important.
Yeah, I think they would work great together. Do you see Arizona Highland Homestead? It's above Mad Acres. Yeah. So, Nick, I'm thinking like you tell me, I homeschooled our girls when they were young, and I just pulling together their curriculum, like the little extra projects for them. That was a goal. That was something that I worked on, and I had so much fun and was so rewarded from doing that with them. In regards to your hiking, your bike riding, I know you have that nonprofit for the bike riding, so I don't know how that fits in with that. Um, and I know you have the gardening. I know you have goals. I can tell by watching your channel. I would encourage you to look at those goals and kind of dream beyond the looking for the land, because I think you guys might kind of be where we are. You're having to prepare to move before you actually have identified a location, maybe. But
Yeah. Hey, Uncle Al.
hey, Uncle
Um,
Adam.
yeah, there's a lot of, hey, vision boards work for a lot of people. I'm a firm
Mhm.
believer in them. I think
Yep,
they're
I
amazing.
like those as well.
Um, hey, Joy Bless Life. Oh, to do. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I do. Like I
Hmm.
will have them running in the background.
Yep, I do that.
And admittedly, sometimes I'm listening and then I hear something and I stop over.
Hmm.
That's how am able to keep up with what I can keep up with. I let them run while I'm listening. Sometimes I can't watch all of them. Oh, Bunky had a vision board.
Bunky, you girls are awesome.
That's so cool. Yeah, definitely life
Yeah,
skills,
that's
definitely
awesome.
life skills. But that's
Hmm.
finding balance too, because you're kind of multitasking, but at the same
Yeah,
time teaching, which is
yeah.
really cool.
And they're getting a lot out of that, and you're getting helping hands.
Yeah, exactly, Jamie. Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Your comment says it all. So I mean, I'm glad that you see that early on because otherwise you're going to kill yourself
Hmm.
trying to keep up.
Yeah.
I know I was totally guilty of it myself, and now I just can't.
Hmm.
I tell people all the time I'm subscribed to like 1,000 channels. It's like,
Hmm. Yeah,
you
me too.
know,
Because I help everybody. Our subscriptions to channels is helpful to them. And I know that they appreciate it, even if we can't watch all of their videos. I really try to stay on top of, and even for like smaller goals with YouTube, I will say, okay, everybody that's replied to this video, I need to make sure I go back and I watch their content. And then sometimes I'll hop over to my subscription list that you can only see on the computer.
yeah.
And I'll start either at the end, the front, or the middle, and I'll start hitting them up one by one. And it's my subscribers and the people that leave comments that I feel the most responsible to. Those
Mhm.
people I feel responsible to.
Yep.
And
Oh, sorry.
no, I'm done. You're good.
I was just going to say, hey, Southern Roots and Bunky, exactly. Exactly. And I'm glad that you have limited time because
Mhm,
sometimes that helps you find balance because you're prioritizing your time.
mhm,
And LP, yeah, totally. Totally. And that's the thing. You have to choose things that are baby steps, small little goals. And the reason
mhm.
why is because otherwise you do overthink and you do
Yeah.
doubt. And then you fail and you feel defeated. And that's that
Mhm,
cycle. But you want to be able to say, I'm going to plant two seedlings this week,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That's tiny. And anyone else would say, well, that's stupid. Well, you know what? If that's where you need to start, there's nothing wrong with that. Plant two seedlings. And if it takes you 7 days to do it, takes you 7 days. And then you can feel good at the end of the week because you did it. That's the
Hmm.
biggest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing.
And just breaking it down into chunks. Some of my goals for this past week were to order more seeds. I needed to get a seed order out, so I did that, and I need to order more of those pods, which I was actually able to find at our local hardware store here. So I got those down. I was trying to do for finances, Coupon Gale. If you all haven't checked her channel out, you really should. She has a lot of links to and some methods for getting coupons for free stuff. And I wanted to do that. So I couldn't quite keep up with her. I did the ones that she shared that were online that did not require a UPC code, but I still need to mail some. And I'm thinking about even breaking that down to, maybe one or two per day or for 5 days a week during my work day, my work week, right? Um, or maybe if I need to break it down into a smaller chunk. Maybe if I could send out 5 or 6 a week, I think that would be reasonable for me. Um, and that's one thing I discovered this last week is I thought I'm just going to do what she does. Well, she does a lot more than what I could successfully do. So I'm having to revisit that. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to give myself a goal of 5 to 6 emails or letters a week. I'm writing it down. Um, and basically, what she has you do is and she provides you with all the information. You mail out these businesses that sell products that you use, like Purina for your dog food, and they'll send you a coupon. Sometimes they send you free ones, so that can help in your finance area to help you save money.
Hmm.
That's
Well,
awesome. I love you guys as extra channels.
they're awesome. They're awesome. So
Hmm.
one of the things that was on my goals is I actually had it under future, which was learn to freeze dry food for preps, as well as, doing some more canning and farrowing with the pigs. And so one of my immediate goals was to um, clean the entryway room so I could set this freeze dryer up. I can't talk today. And so I could use it and read the instructions. Good morning, Moon over Miami. So anyway, that's what I was communicating with Tammy, because I was like, I better get going because I got to check in with Tammy. And it really got me over the hump of not doing stuff. The other thing I will say I think that was really helpful was Ryan was home for the first time this weekend, the whole weekend, versus being at work on and off. And it was actually nice to have somebody else in the house while I was doing it because I was suddenly motivated. And it's great. We've been using the freeze dryer, we've got it going. Now the area is clean where I can get in there and actually get in there and set up the folding tables for the soap, set up the folding tables
Awesome.
for the candles and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's the coolest part about it is now we're ready to do it. Um, so we're just waiting for Ryan to get better now because he's kind of out that way and I don't want to bother him.
Hmm. That's awesome. Hang on, I'm going to mute for a minute while I just you guys can hear my husband. He's not playing any songs. He's picking around in there, but
It's
I'm just going
fine.
to warn
No, it's
him.
fine.
Don't play anything that's an actual song. Hang on one second.
Kelly Homesteading, you said Ryan helped me so much Sunday. What was that? I'm kind of curious. Did you mean my Ryan? I'm just curious. Um, yeah, let me know what you were talking about, Kelly Homesteading with Pooh Bear. I love that name. That's so cool.
Thank you for the heads up on that, Nick.
Oh, she said, "Oh, my Ryan." I think that's Jamie at Mad Acre. Okay, cool. I was just making sure. There's too many Ryans. No Mad Acres with strawberries. Okay, cool. It's funny. I'm a Lisa, so there's 4 million of us who were born in the '60s. So, Age Ninja Ninja. So we've got just over 5 minutes left. So last minute questions for anybody. And while we're waiting for you to type them all up, maybe Mountain Grandma, you can tell them where we're going to be next week and what time.
Yep. Okay. So next week, the live is going to be on the Mountain Grandma channel, our channel, and we'll be doing that at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
I'll put the link in there for you.
Okay.
And what are we going to be? We have a guest next week.
We have a guest next week. So we're going to have Monica and Eric with Bland's Promised Land Ranch joining us next week.
I don't mean to correct you, but I
Is
believe
it just Monica?
Just Monica.
Okay.
I apologize.
That's okay. So it'll be Monica.
There's Mountain Grandma's link. Hey, Wendy at Hardneck and Jamie at Mad Acre. That's so cool. That's awesome. See, that right there is better than any number of subscribers or anything. That right there.
That's awesome.
It is so cool. I can't wait to tell my Ryan about that. Thank you so much. If you guys need any help, message me on Instagram. Yeah, so I don't see. Oh, well, I'm glad you liked it. That's awesome.
And Matt Acre, I hope you guys video you all making that rabbit hutch too, because one of the things I really want to get meat animals, and I told my husband I'll process them myself. And I was thinking meat rabbits would be good because they're going to be easy to transport if we move, if we travel. Well, I shouldn't say if, when we travel this summer, spring and summer, it'll be easy to transport the rabbits over to my kids' house so they can babysit them for us. And yeah, so share that.
So yeah, absolutely. And so here's one thing I just want to throw out there. Oh, no worries, G Mama. It's going to be 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. LP wants to know how we will do the 7F through this chat.
So I'm hoping that this chat serves as like working time for you on your 7Fs. And when we're encouraging you to get a pen and paper, that's exactly what I'm hoping you do. I've made a couple of notes while we've been here. I'm considering this like my working meeting, and it's extra time I can spend focusing on where I'm at on my goals. And sometimes I get ideas from hearing what you all in the chat have to share. So that's what I would suggest, is just grab a piece of paper, anything handy, and just start jotting some stuff down.
Yeah, and I think
you're fine, LP. I think you did just fine.
You did just fine, LP. It was a lot easier to read when you just throw it out there. So the other thing is we're going to have guests on that will help with different areas of the 7Fs and will help maybe spark some ideas for you. So you said you overthink things. So next week we're going to talk to Monica, who has a lot of children and a lot of multitasking to do. And so she's going to talk about some ways that she's able to achieve things with all the stuff she has going on.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that's really helpful for folks. So we're getting near the end. So next week, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Mountain Grandma's channel. So please go over and subscribe. Join us next week to move forward. Monica Bland will be on with us from Bland's Promised Land Ranch. Bye, Jamie Madacre. And
hi, Jamie.
And I don't know, any last words from you, Mountain Grandma?
I just want to thank everybody for coming along and share. I hope you share your goals and your thoughts, because it helps us. We all help each other by talking about our goals and our challenges. At the bottom of my, these are kind of some of my instant things that I had wrote down. At the bottom, I had wrote, what is in your way? Because that's something I need to identify with some of these. What is in my way? And I encourage you all to think about that too. And please do share, because as you're moving forward, we're all kind of moving forward together. And it is helpful, motivating, and encouraging to see others. It makes me want to be, more productive and move forward in the direction I want to go, Not that I'm being pushed in, not that I'm being told this is what you need to do, but rather things I want to do. So,
And I think, Tammy, maybe you and I can talk about it
mm-hmm,
at another time before the live, but I think what would be really beneficial is if we just took a pen and paper or in a Word document and we wrote down our plans that we've been discussing
uh-huh,
and we shared them next week, because it might be beneficial to folks.
okay,
Because maybe
yep,
that's why folks are having trouble wrapping their head around it, because
yeah,
it was for me too.
mm-hmm,
So,
yep.
all right. Well, we are at our hour, and I know Charlie from Fallen Arkansas Veterans just came in. Hello, thank
Hey,
you.
Charles.
And Uncle Al, he headed out. But thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We really, really appreciate it. And again, we will see you all next Tuesday, 1 week from today, at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Mountain Grandma's channel. And
I want to encourage one more thing before you say goodbye. Everybody, take a look at your list. If it's in your head, try to get it on paper. If it's on paper, try to get something marked off. You'll feel so good when you do.
bring a pen and paper next week, really. And we will share, and even if we don't share all of it, we'll at least share part of it, because sometimes things are personal. Okay, so let's just we'll come up with something to give you a visual, because I think that would be really helpful. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.